Hello, welcome to the MMA Freak Fight of the Week. I'm Matt Salzer. So for this week's Fight of the Week, I'm picking Francis Ngannou, who at UFC on ESPN 3 successfully TKO Junior Dos Santos, and talking on that fight as kind of a segue into the review of that. I'm just gonna go over the top two, but so yeah, Junior Dos Santos went in there and Junior Dos Santos and Francis Ngannou went in there, and this was one of those things where it was kind of more timing things. I'm not saying that Francis Ngannou won the fight. He did. It was one of those things where he was. I felt like there were just some things that just went in his favor during the fight, and also, this is one of two fights where he's beaten former champions. He knocked out Cain Velasquez in his last fight, and he knocked out Junior Dos Santos. So, the case could be made that he should get the winner of the next heavyweight title fight in Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier, which is a rematch of the previous fight. So it's a rematch of their previous fight. So we will see how that goes. Then also in another contender type fight, you had Joseph Benavidez go in and control Suerio Formiga or Da Silva. And it was one of those things where he went in and he controlled the fight. And again, he owns a win over Henry Cejudo, the current champ of the flyweight and bantamweight divisions. So the argument there is that he should get the next crack at least at flyweight. So again, we'll see what goes on there. So coming up is UFC 239. I'm going to review the top three fights in that one. So, in the main event, we have Jon Jones going against Thiago Santos, and this is gonna be an interesting one. Santos has been one of those fighters who's kind of been on the rise, but herein lies the question: is that can he beat Jon Jones? I mean, anyone can beat anyone in any given fight, but let's face it, Jon Jones has never actually lost decisively to anybody. So it's really just a matter of, and there have been times where clearly Jones has had, more down days when he would just go to a decision rather than finishing the fight. But it's, in all likelihood, is at his best, he could beat anybody. So it's likely that Jones is going to come away with the victory this time around, as he usually does. So that's the main event. The co-main event is going to be light heavyweight title fight, Jon Jones versus Thiago Santos, and then the co-main event is going to be Amanda Nunes, the women's champ, defending her bantamweight title against Holly Holm. Now, Holly Holm has challenged at both weight classes for a title, and she multiple times, as a matter of fact. She fought twice for the featherweight title up in and once against Germaine de Randamie in a fight in which there might be some argument that maybe she should have won. And then she also fights Cyborg and surprisingly did not get knocked out. So and then she held the bantamweight title before when she knocked out Ronda Rousey. So this is gonna be an interesting one. Holly at her best. I hold to that philosophy that some fighters at their best can beat anyone. Holly at her best can beat anyone. I believe that wholeheartedly, but then again, the same can be said about Amanda Nunes. She knocked out Cyborg. So, this is going to be an interesting one. It really depends on, who can come out with their A game and whose A game would be better. This is a close fight. I don't really know who to pick per se. It's a good thing that I don't usually do picks, but this is gonna be a close fight. I really think it's gonna go either way. It can go either way because Hawley is just an incredible, freakish athlete, but Amanda Nunes is just such a good fighter. So, like I said, it can go either way. So, that's that at bantamweight. Then at welterweight, you have Ben Askren making his second fight in the UFC against Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal came off of a layoff just about the same time that Ben Askren came off of a layoff as well, just coming from ONE FC. So, honestly, I think Askren comes away with this one. I mean, he was shown that he could be vulnerable in his fight against Robbie Lawler, and that had kind of a bizarre, it had a bizarre finish to it. But I think Askren is going to come away with this. He's just such a freakish wrestler in general, despite his recent loss to his wrestling loss to Jordan Burroughs. But so yeah, that's it. So we'll see how that goes. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you have not done so, follow us on @MMA Freakout is our Twitter handle, MMA-freakout.com for exclusive content. My name is Matthew Salzer. My personal Twitter and my Instagram are @Matthew Salzer, and I'll see you next time.